Mr. Trush, are you ready on Ms. Creed's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Courthouse People versus Tanya Creed, file number 25548. The record should reflect the defendant present here in the courtroom today. Mr. Trush, how did we want to proceed today?
Your Honor, I do believe we have a resolution of this matter whereby Ms. Creed would be tendering a plea to 2 counts of attempt R&O, and the principal charges would be dismissed or amended as whatever the court's preferences.
Ms. Koch, is that a correct statement of the plea agreement?
It is.
Ms. Creed, have you had a chance to talk to Mr. Trush about this plea agreement?
Yeah.
And is that how you wanted to proceed today?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Are you currently on any kind of probation or parole?
Yes, at arrest common probation.
Okay. Are they aware that you're entering this plea today?
Yeah.
Are you going to face any additional penalties for that?
I don't think so.
And then in this case, the 2 charges are attempted resisting or obstructing. Each of those carries with it a maximum penalty, possible penalty of up to 1 year in jail. Do you understand that? Just need to say yes. Okay. We're making a recording and they don't know later what that
Right.
meant. So, okay. Okay. And so with those maximum penalties in mind, what is your plea to each of those charges today?
No contest. Right. You're guilty.
My understanding is it's going to be a guilty plea, but
Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Guilty.
okay. So I'm going to go through your rights with you. You have the right to have a trial. You have the right to be tried by a jury. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty. You have the right to have any witnesses against you appear at trial and to question those witnesses. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses on your behalf appear at trial. You have the right to remain silent during the trial and to not have that silence used against you, and the right to testify at a trial yourself if you want it. You understand all those rights. And you understand that you're going to be giving up and waiving all of those rights by pleading guilty.
Yes.
Has anyone threatened you with anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than what we said here in court today? Is it your own free choice to enter this plea?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty to these 2 charges because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
So the information I have indicates this happened back on February 20th of 2025. Is that the correct date?
Yep.
Okay. And on that day, were you here in Crawford County?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I ask this?
Sure.
On that day, did the police come to your home?
Yes.
Was there 1 officer or more than 1 officer?
There was more than 1.
When they were at your home, did there come a time when they left?
Yeah.
Did they then come back?
Yes.
When they came back, did they instruct you to open the door?
Yes.
Did you do that?
No.
I think that would provide the basis.
Ms. Koch?
Were you aware that there are police officers exercising their duties? Yes.
Yeah, I believe that's sufficient, Your Honor.
Ms. Koch, are the people aware of any threats, promises, or inducements other than what's been placed on the record?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Trush?
Where none, Your Honor.
Ms. Koch, are the people satisfied that the court has complied with statute and court rule in the taking of this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Trush?
I am satisfied.
The court finds that your plea is knowing, voluntary, and accurate. The court is satisfied there is a factual basis to support a finding that you are guilty of each of these charges. The court will accept your plea as a whole. We'll set this matter for a sentencing hearing. You'll be notified of the date of that hearing. It's going to be early September. Then stay in touch with Mr. Trush prior to that date. And before you leave today, you're going to need the probation department to set up a pre-sentence interview. People versus Brandy Smith, file number 255419. Record reflecting Smith's present here in the courtroom today. I'd like to have counsel put your appearances on.
Sierra Coke on behalf of the people.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jason Thompson, on behalf of the defendant, Brandy Smith.
The date and time set for sentencing in this matter. Ms. Smith, have you had a chance to go through the pre-sentence report and talk to Mr. Thompson about that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson, are there any additions, deletions, or corrections?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Coe, do people have any additions, deletions, or corrections?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, do you have any victims that wish to testify?
No, Your Honor.
Anything on behalf of the people for allocation?
Your Honor, the restitution request was provided, no amount of $1,409 to Ramada. I'm not really sure how Ms. Smith got herself into this position because she's 44 years old and she only has one misdemeanor. Normally when I see these type of behaviors, I see a much more lengthy criminal history. I think there's some mental health issues that need to be addressed. So I think the recommendation is appropriate. And I hope that she's successful in probation and gets a restitution paid and her mental health under control. Thank you.
Thompson.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. I mean, unfortunately, how we got here is how some defendants get here, which is some pre-existing mental health problems that are then exacerbated by substance abuse. That's been my observation is people with sort of manageable or low-level mental health problems that they really can't then manage them when they use methamphetamine. So Ms. Smith has learned a lot from that. She's engaging in mental health treatment. She's remaining sober. And she's committed to paying her restitution here. She's brought some money today. She wants to start paying on it. She'll certainly have it paid during her term of probation. I think it's an appropriate plan and recommendation that has been proposed here, Your Honor. We would ask the court to adopt it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Smith, anything you wanted to say today?
I would like to apologize to the hotel as well as the police and you guys for everything. I want to get help, obviously. I'm just really sorry. I'd like to get everything paid as soon as possible.
So I did read through the report. I'm familiar with what happened in this case and your background as well based on the information in that report. I do think that the recommendation is a good recommendation. I agree with Mr. Thompson. If you already have some underlying issues, using methamphetamine is just really going to bring those out. And I don't think what happened in this case is something that you would normally do if you weren't under the influence of that. So I hope that part of what you're going to do for yourself going forward is getting some help so that you're not using that substance to cope with your mental health issues. And I think probation is appropriate to kind of follow that and make sure that you're staying on the right track for a period of time. And so I agree with the recommendation. The court is going to place you on, with regard to both counts in this case, probation for a period of 1 year. The court is going to adopt as the conditions of that probation all the terms and conditions listed in the report. One of those is that you're not to use or possess any controlled substances unless they're prescribed to you. And that you complete any kind of mental health, counseling, or any other kind of recommended treatment for probation. I think that's going to be key to help you move forward. The court is not going to impose any additional upfront jail time. I am going to impose 90 days with credit for 3 days served. I'm going to hold that time in abeyance so that if you comply with your probation, you won't have to serve that time. However, if you do violate your probation, then I can impose any or all of that 90 days immediately. So that's going to be kind of an additional motivation, I hope, for you to comply with probation. The court is going to order restitution in the amount of $1,409.79. That's payable to the Crawford County Clerk to be dispersed to the Ramada Inn. A crime victim's assessment of $130, court costs of $325, attorney fees of $350, DNA testing fee of $60, and $100 state cost, as well as a $30 per month supervision fee while you're on probation. If you're able to get that restitution paid off in a timely manner, I would consider waiving the court costs and attorney fees. Given your financial situation, I'd rather have you focus on that, paying back that restitution than paying court costs and attorney fees. The other fines and costs I can't waive. You do have the ability to appeal this sentence if you wanted to appeal, you would have to file your appeal within the next 21 days. If you have additional questions about that, Mr. Thompson will be able to help you with that. Other than that, before you leave, you're going to check in with Mr. McDowell, your probation agent. So anything further on this file today?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson,
Nothing further for today's record. Thank you.
good luck to you going forward, Ms. Smith.
That hearing had a little bit of everything. We started with People v. Tanya Creed, and what stood out immediately was the straightforward way Judge George Mertz handled a plea to 2 counts of attempted resisting or obstructing. The case stemmed from an incident back in February 2025, where Ms. Creed failed to open the door for officers during a second visit to her home. Her responses were soft-spoken and direct. She admitted the facts without hesitation and confirmed she understood the rights she was giving up. There was a brief, almost comic moment of confusion where she initially said no contest before correcting to guilty, but otherwise the process moved cleanly. The court confirmed the plea was voluntary, supported by a factual basis, and everyone seemed aligned on the resolution. Sentencing is set for September, and you could tell that Judge Mertz, Mr. Truth, and Ms. Koch were all treating this matter with proportional seriousness enough to uphold the law, but not overblown. Then came People v. Brandy Smith, and this hearing turned out to be quietly powerful. Ms. Smith, age 44, stood for sentencing on charges tied to some rather troubling behavior at a local hotel. The prosecution acknowledged confusion. Someone with such minimal criminal history doesn't usually end up here. The likely explanation? Mental health issues exacerbated by substance use, specifically methamphetamine. Ms. Smith's attorney, Jason Thompson, was measured but compassionate. He explained that she's already begun mental health treatment, has maintained sobriety, and is committed to paying restitution $1,409 owed to Ramada. Judge Mertz took all of it in. His response struck a familiar tone, honest, constructive, and supportive. He pointed out that people with underlying mental health conditions often spin out when meth gets involved, and said this behavior wasn't likely to be typical of her. And that assessment felt fair. Ms. Smith had already brought money to court, apologized directly, and accepted responsibility. Instead of jail, she got 1 year of probation with conditions tailored to her recovery. No substance use continued. Mental health counseling and restitution. The court imposed a 90-day sentence but suspended all but 3 days already served, leaving the rest as leverage to encourage compliance. And here's where Judge Mertz showed a bit of flexibility. If she pays off her restitution promptly, he's open to waiving court costs and attorney fees. That's a rare but meaningful move, signaling that he'd rather see her focus on making victims whole than getting buried under fees. The courtroom energy throughout both cases was low-key and respectful. Ms. Creed was quiet and compliant. Ms. Smith was emotional but composed, clearly trying to change direction. And Judge Mertz, as always, stayed right in the middle, firm when needed, flexible when earned. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read everyone.